Okay, after that last sketch that I did where I was talking about those silly ideas of, hey, let's try to do some sketches in absurd places, I got a little wild hair and decided to bust out the tablet and bring that out into nature. Actually, I'm at the in the middle of the Platte River. It's almost 0 degrees Celsius here. It's a little freaking cold. So, you know, we'll see, about 10 minutes, maybe as long as I can go until my fingers start to get frostbitten and fall off. But yeah, I really like to sketch out in the middle of nowhere. So I bring this little tablet. It is a very modest Windows tablet, and it honestly cannot handle a whole lot, so we're not going to push it much. Anyway, I had to create a special edition of the concrete tool to kind of run off on this device, so no LFOs, no extras down at the bottom there. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, oh, I'll show you really quick too. Here is the front view. This is what I'm looking at here. Super dry right now. We haven't had a lot of rain, which is awesome, because that means, you know, you can come down and hang out in the middle of this river. It's about 2 miles bike ride from my house, which you know, it's nice to get some good exercise and have a nice view and, you know, freeze your butt off, or in the summertime get destroyed by the mosquitoes. Hopefully this mic doesn't sound too much like garbage. Honestly, the tablet, I paid 80 bucks for it. It's not high quality. It's not known for. It's an RCA cambio, and it took a long time to get this thing configured to do comparable, you know, audio type of work on it. Here's a bunch of sounds that I got from. I'm not even sure where I got these. I might have pulled these from tapes that I found at the Goodwill. I like to take the tape recorder down to a Goodwill and just like plug it into my phone and just play tapes, and then got apps on the phone to slow that stuff way down, and then bring it into the concrete tool for some further nuttiness. That was a good time. Nobody ever asks you at a secondhand store, you know, what are you doing, even if you're there for an hour, and you're like, you know, you bring your portable vinyl player and you're recording samples off of it. You know, the people usually work in there, they're like ex-cons or you know, serving community time. They just don't care what you do. So better to just go there, take your equipment, sample some stuff, and versus paying for it and getting home and realizing, oh, this is actually 95% garbage with like maybe like 1 minute of good sounds. Alright, let's I think I wanna step this up and down like I was just doing here. So let's go into the automation. As you can see, I'm running Ableton 9 here. That is because this tablet is only 32 bits, which, you know, has some pluses in that it's forced me to get back into using some of these old plugins that I used when I first got into making music about 20-something years ago. Longer than that, I guess now. There we go. That might be too high pitched. Yeah, a little hard to see, and it's the only tricky part about doing stuff outdoors, is that it can be tough to see stuff when the sun is just right. So you've got to find like the right spots. In the summertime, it's a bit easier because there's a lot more shade. The wintertime, you've got a lot more not shade. Yeah, okay. Unlink that. What I'd love to do, unlink it. And somehow this muse concrete tool, I built it in Max 8, and magically it mostly ported over just fine a Max 7. I just loaded it up, and this Ableton 9, of course, running Max 7, last 32-bit version. And of course I'm cheating a little bit today. These sounds were all generated together, so they sound pretty good all just out of the gate together. I think for the purposes of this demonstration, that's a-okay. And I'll share them, so no one's complaining. 3 samples. Because what you do with them in this tool is going to be far different than what I do with them, and honestly, you'll probably do something way better. You'll spend more than 10 minutes and actually do a decent, you know, sketch. But as you can see, if you have the right sounds and the right samples, you can make this could be a 3-4 minute movement, you know, in a live set. I could do a live set that had like multiple instances of the concrete tool and just sort of, you know, I could just fade in sections. That's obviously super boring, but I think that, you know, why not? It doesn't have to be always like super exciting knob twiddling, look at me kind of live performances, and especially with ambient music, you know, maybe it's better to have the emphasis be on the sound than on the performer anyway. Just saying. Alright, let's get some effects on this track. I'm going to fire my auto hotkey off and get some delay. I want to hear just like a delay on the master. Let's get a little reverb going there too. Alright. Yeah, maybe not so much on the spike or for the volume automation. So let's dive back into the clip. Let's see, we'll show only automated envelopes because there are a ton of things you can automate with this tool. So let's see, is it this one? Nope. Yeah, this one here, this jump. You gotta watch it when you're automating the volume knobs in the tool. They go up to 30 decibels, so you know, it can be good for some things, but also can be dangerous to your ears. Let's unlink that. Go ahead and space that one out a little bit more. I think I want to fire off a note. Let's go C4. Go up. Let's go back down. I feel like I need a magnifying glass, but the only thing with this, one of the several things that are just, you know, you get what you pay for when you buy a tablet for $80. But it's the very, very small screen at 10 inches. Super, super portable. I love it for that. It just is, you can throw it in the backpack. It weighs hardly anything. Even with the external battery pack that lets this thing last for 16 hours or some such. There we go. Should probably try like a different theme in Ableton. It's on the disco one. I think that's maybe a little dark. Let's stick with C's and G's and just keeping it real basic. Oh, I see. I'm automating that, so this one doesn't go up to 30. I think what I want to do is I will cut that automation. Let me make that a little louder. I'm going to instantiate with auto hotkey utility. Ableton 9 vintage tech. I still love it. Honestly, it's still super useful. What I'm going to do, since I got this automation from that type of volume knob, and this dial here has a different range. So I'm going to, in this rack, this empty rack, I'm just going to use this here. It will have the same range as your track volume here. I'm going to paste that. Let's go ahead and so this way we've got this volume stuff happening before the effects. Alright, now let's bring in a green delay, one of my favorites. Super crunchy and nasty, but honestly gets the job done sometimes, you know. For live performances, these effects are great. I would not really recommend to anyone to use them for, you know, actual, at least most of them, for actual studio productions. Unless you render stuff out at 192, then they start to sound a lot more crisp and clear. The ones I recommend using, you know, for everyday production are the Glue compressor, the EQ8. In Ableton 11, I think some of them sound somewhat a little better. There we go. So yeah, okay. I think this is fine for like just a little short sketch. Let's see how we're doing on time. About 10 minutes. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, thanks for coming out here with me into the middle of nowhere, and maybe I'll do more of these if my fingers still work after this. All right.